So, this is what life has taught me for the past couple of years. I am not married. I am not in a relationship. But I talked to a few people. I don't have a child. And it feels like in this world where you are of age, probably in your 30s, and you're not in a relationship, you don't have a child, and all that, you can feel like you're irrelevant or you're not worth it in so many ways. And here I am, I'm in a position where I am not married, I'm not in a relationship, I don't have a child, and I am in my 30s, like a little bit closer to my late 30s. And sometimes, the experience I've gathered throughout this year has shown me what's like, being in this position feels like. And I know probably there are a lot of people out there that are not yet in their 30s. They are getting closer to their 30s, and they might feel like you can get a bit, anxious about real life. But let me tell you, when you get to this period or this stage, definitely you're going to be anxious at some point, because I'm already I'm already in a state where I have to change my whole career and my whole life all over again. And I feel like life keeps giving me different thing altogether each and every time. This is like my real life that I'm going through, and I feel like yeah, I'm experiencing it. But this is where it really hurts the most, because, well, not really hurt, but this is where you need to be more observant about what people say, because sometimes it can get to you so badly. Because from the experience of what I have been through, I feel like it's usually the people that are extremely closer to you that can make you feel like if you're not married, if you don't have a man in your life, if you don't have a child in your life, then you're not worth it. Then your life is not complete. Then you have not achieved anything. But they don't talk about that aspect where a woman is like, a woman has it all. They don't talk about that point where you're figuring it out, you're trying to have stability in your life. I mean, stability, financial stability, like, career stability, and having a good mental state. They don't talk about that aspect, but the focus is entirely on you having a man and a child. This has happened to me before, and going back to Ghana multiple times to visit my mom, I have come to a deep realization that people just focus on, when are you getting married? Are you married in abroad? Do you have a child now? No. Are you dead? I can also ask you that, are you dead? Do you have a job now? Are you making millions now? You go to these places and you realize these people are just in the same spot. They even expect more from you, expect like money or something from you, but they don't talk about the fact that you are figuring your life out. And some people can have their child in their 20s, some people can have their child in their 30s, some people can have their child in their 40s. So why meet someone or someone who has traveled and is back, and the first question you can ever ask them is, are they married? Are they in a relationship? When is the wedding coming on? Don't ask me that question, because if I'm getting married, you know about it. So this is what I've actually come to a big realization, is that in Africa, if you achieve more, or let's say not achieve, like if you come to a stage where you're able to do something for yourself, they don't focus on that. They don't see that as an achievement. They see having a boyfriend, having a man, having a relationship, having a ring on your finger as you are whole. Come on, that is not whole, because we all know that most of the marriages that they are in Africa is extremely terrible, and it's not going as planned. Most of them are the 100% providers in that house, because most of the men ran away from them and they are struggling. Some men do not even pay school fees. Some men do not even put a 3 square meal on the table for them. They do the hard work and everything. But they forget about women that are trying to figure out their life. I'm not hitting back at them for having those experiences, but I've just come to a realization that I will not be in that position to ever put my friend or my child in the future in that position. But I'll definitely ask, oh, do you have someone in your life? Yeah, that's okay. Not to the point that when are you getting married? Do you have a ring? Like making them feel like they are not worth it, with where they are in life. I mean, there are a lot of ladies in this position. If you have your career, you have your stability, you're doing, just focus on that, because people still find true love in their 30s. People still find true love in their 40s, in their 50s. If you want to have a child, maybe you can have a child. Some people have a child before they even meet the truest love. Some people meet their truest love early. Some people can get married and divorce. Some people can get married and die. So why make marriage everything when you know this is something that there is high risk or high tendency of it breaking off? Marriages, most people have a long-term marriage that goes a long way. There is no divorce. It is okay. They try to work out everything for themselves. But I think this aspect of it, that people feel like if you don't have marriage, you're not worth it, is not, is extremely worse. It just puts so much pressure on young girls to just jump into anybody's life and then want the wedding, want the ring, want everything, but not focusing on, is this what I want for a long term? Am I able to build with this kind of person that I'm going with? There are a lot of marriages breaking out there. It's not even in Ghana. Here in abroad, people go home to get married. People married here as well. They find people here, get married, and it never lasts. It never lasts most of the time. You see them struggling with divorce. Some even after they've got their house, they are separating. So why don't you let people get to a state where they found their person and they want to settle down? This is getting out of hand. And I am in a stage where I know that definitely I'm going to have a child. Definitely I'm going to be in a relationship. Definitely I'm going to get married. But I will not be in a position where someone puts pressure on me to rush me into having the ring. You know, you need to be a very responsible adult so that even if you bring someone into the world, you can afford it. You can afford a child. If you're having one child or two child, you can definitely afford it. Not people pushing you into it. And most of the times when you get into your 30s, 35, 34, the pressure is extremely higher because that is the expectation of society. But society is not coming to take care of you. It's not coming into your house to sort out the bills. It's not coming to your house to do the childcare. Like I am in a stage where I'm figuring so many things. People do not even figure out their life in their 20s, in their 30s. Sometimes you're still working out your way through it. So I feel like if you're in this period of your life, just let yourself be. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy your current stage where you are in life. I have been in a state where I have prayed for so many things and to be in different position or different state of my life. And I feel like whatever I've prayed for has come. But this is life. Sometimes you can get what you pray for and then it changes all over again. So if I am in this state and I'm still figuring things out, you should rather be encouraging people to make them feel like, this is where you have to be in life. This is where you're supposed to be in life and enjoy the moment rather than putting pressure on people to get married when they are not. It just gives them a lot of anxieties and also depression as well because people are celebrating birthday but they are not focusing on their birthday. They are focusing on the fact that who is going to marry me, who's going to give me an engagement ring, who's going to propose to me. And the matter of fact, it's not everybody is going to get married. Not everybody is going to have a child because there are people married and struggling to have a child. There are people who already have a child. There are people who have had a child and the child is dead. There are people who have a child and that child will not be anything useful to the society. Everybody is on their different time level. I am single, never been married before, and I've been in a relationship before, but I feel the pressure that young girls get in their 30s is extremely higher than what men get in their 30s, because women are pressured to definitely be with a man in their 30s, even before 30s. And I have experienced that, but you know one thing, I've handled it with so much grace, because anytime they ask me, are you married? I tell them I'm not married. I'm trying to find out my own life first. And most of the time, these people asking you this question are not even survived. They are not even doing anything extremely in their life. They are still figuring their own life out. They are not married. Some are even struggling. You could see the struggle all over their face, but they will ask you the same question. I'm not mad at them, but I feel like people need to know themselves more. If you know yourself very, very well, and if you know where you are, and if you know what you really want to achieve, you will rather focus on where you are. If you have a relationship, if you're talking to somebody, that's fine, but you don't need to rush the process. And because that is how you meet someone who will feel like you're desperate to just have the ring on. Marriage is a long way, it's a long journey. Relationship starts and end, but having marriage and then breaking off, some ending with you going away with a child, I mean, it's too much, more than being in a relationship and then just breaking off and then going your way without a child. Yeah.